Hey, this is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel, and we're gonna have some fighting words. But before we go any further, you know the routine. I need for you to like this video, and also please subscribe to my channel. So in this video, I want to talk about Canelo Alvarez. More particularly, Canelo Alvarez's team. Now, listen, I'm a fan of Canelo. I'm a fan of what he's done as of recently, just, putting on more weight, going up on, the weight classes, and testing himself. Got no issues with that. And, I do believe, granted, listen, is he going up in weight? Yes. Is he being very strategic about who he's facing as he is going up? He is. However, he is still going up, and he's still fighting, solid enough competition, top-notch competition. So that's not necessarily my issue. My issue is when, basically, I would say his team is making it like, Canelo can just pretty much do anything he wants. So the conversation was already out there with Canelo and Uysk. Now, granted, Uysk was a cruiserweight, so he was smaller. He wasn't, he's still not really a heavyweight. But he's a cruiserweight. Okay. No, don't do that. But okay, I get it, because more than likely Usyk is not going to take the bait or anything like that, or it's just going to stay on the table, with conversation and talking. And then Usyk says, well, I can come down. I can come back down a little bit if that's what you want to do. In which case, let's get realistic. Usyk would wipe the floor with Canelo in many different ways, okay? Yeah, he's bigger, but he's not just a big guy. Usyk is a big, extremely skillful guy at that, okay? And he would give Canelo all kinds of problems, and it definitely wouldn't go the distance. No, just no. But if that's not wild enough, his teamers like, you know what? We think he could fight AJ. We think he could fight Tyson Fury. Now, Tyson in itself is laughable, because the man's like, what, 6'9", 6'10", and he's like 280. That's laughable. Tyson Fury would literally have you for lunch. Literally, he would put you on a plate, get a knife and fork, and he would have you for lunch while he sips some champagne or some wine or something like that. It's laughable. I get it. Canelo is a very, very skillful fighter. And right now he is, maybe the best fighter out there. So I get it. I do get it. However, I would still put Usyk at top, because, he's a heavyweight unified champ. I'm sorry. Yeah, Canelo's done some great things, but the heavyweight champ is always going to go at the top. It is. I'm old school like that, and that's how it's always been. So, I'm going to keep it that way, and that's how I'm going to keep my thinking. There's never going to be somebody who's a welterweight or whatever weight, anything under a heavyweight that's going to outshine a heavyweight, especially a unified heavyweight champion. Not in my eyes. So, yeah, he's the man, but Usyk is also the man, But to say that Canelo could beat Anthony Joshua, no. Listen, in terms of skill, Anthony Joshua is nowhere in the same stratosphere as Canelo Alvarez. However, Canelo Alvarez, AJ. There's a huge difference between the two of them. Yeah, AJ could eat Canelo's punches for snacks. Canelo is not gonna eat one of AJ's punches. Not one. And especially if it's a clean one. He's not gonna eat a punch. Tyson Fury, maybe, because man doesn't hit that hard. So maybe, but AJ, absolutely not. Come on. At some point, we have to stop the shenanigans. And this is straight up and down shenanigans. For anybody in their right mind to think that Canelo Alvarez could go up against Anthony Joshua. I'm not even going to say Tyson Fury anymore, because it's 100 pounds difference or something. So I'm not even going to talk about that anymore. That's just kind of silly. Granted, AJ is silly as well. There is intrigue with Usyk. because Usyk can bring himself down a little bit, and we have seen that Canelo can bring himself up. So, I mean, that'd be a crazy catch weight, but like, okay, sure, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, why not? I mean, I don't think that's a good look for Canelo. I don't think Canelo lasts 5 rounds with Usyk. Usyk is like Lomachenko, but 200 pounds plus. Lomachenko is scary enough as is at like 135 pounds. Imagine supersizing Lomachenko like to 200 plus and then putting him in the ring. Now, granted, Usyk doesn't have the biggest punching power in the world. Yes, that's right. But that's for cruiserweights and that's for heavyweights. Canelo is neither. He's neither, so it really doesn't matter. Like, it really doesn't matter at all. He would still have his way with Canelo. I mean, he punches a lot harder. He throws 10 times more punches. He's a lot more mobile, although he wouldn't have to be. He literally could stand in front of Canelo and just walk straight into, whatever Canelo thinks he can throw at him. We all know that Canelo doesn't have the legs to dance around Usyk. And this little thing that Canelo does where he just stands there and kind of makes you miss, that wouldn't fly. Number one, Usyk is a sharpshooter. Number two, Usyk throws 100 billion punches. And number three, because he's so much bigger, if he were to connect, it doesn't take a whole lot of punches to get you up out of there. So that's just not going to fly. Again, I am a Canelo fan. I know this video doesn't sound like I am a Canelo fan, but I am a Canelo fan. But at some point, we have to stop because it's turning into like a circus. It's turning into like a hype training type of thing. Oh, Canelo can do this and he can do... No, he can't. No, there's a limit and an extent to what he can do and to whom he can do it with in the ring. And it's not going to be Anthony Joshua. It's not going to be Tyson Fury. And it's not going to be Alexander Usyk. Who's the most likely for that to even really get proposed? Usyk, obviously. Again, he fought at cruiserweight. And again, he's the only one who took the bait. He's the only one who took the bait. So he said, I'll go down and fight him. I don't care. Now, is that competitive? No, not really. And do we need to unify in the heavyweight division? Yes, so please don't do that. Whatever Anthony Joshua is going to do, if you're going to do a rematch, do the rematch. If you're not going to do a rematch, I don't necessarily want to see Usyk fight Tyson Fury because I don't believe Tyson Fury will stick around. And not that I personally think Usyk can box circles around Tyson Fury. But a guy at like 270, 280 going up against Usyk, it's not going to be a good look. I mean, Usyk couldn't do a whole lot with Derek Chisora. What is he going to do with Tyson Fury at 270, 280? So that's neither here nor there. But that doesn't mean I want to see Alexander Usyk fighting Canelo Alvarez. I hope nobody in their right mind wants to see that. I hope nobody in their right mind wants to see that. I don't think that's an exciting fight. It shouldn't go past 6 rounds, honestly. If it does, help us all. I don't know, because then maybe Canelo would be like, I want Tyson next. I don't know. He probably would. If he could go the distance with Alexander Usyk, he should not be able to. But he takes a heck of a punch. And like I said, he's very skillful. The only problem is would be going up against somebody who is, in my opinion, much more skillful than him. So I don't foresee that happening. I don't think it's very likely. And there's more than enough guys for Canelo to fight. He could fight GGG again because technically it's 1-1. So go do the third fight and we'll just figure out who's the better of the two of you. Fight Charlo. Fight either one of the Charlos. Big Charlo, small Charlo, don't make a difference. Fight Demetrius Andrade. Don't make a difference. Fight Jaime Munguia. I wouldn't mind seeing that. You know, like there's people for you to fight. So you don't need to go that route. You don't need to go that route. You know, so those are my thoughts. I want to know what you all think. You know the routine. Please drop it down below. And as always, thank you, and like, and please subscribe.